Good morning. I'm very excited today for us to continue our conversation on leadership legacy. I mentioned before, I am excited and I enjoy the conversation of legacy. And legacy for me has three aspects. It has a leadership aspect that I call integrity. It has a loving aspect that I call just the whole idea of relationships and being able to grow in intimacy. And then it has an identity aspect that has to do with knowing who I am and learning that informs how I live my life. Since our conversation is for leaders, with the conversation of legacy, we've talked about before, and we talked about the opportunities that we have to learn and to become better and to allow our character to be formed. One of the ways that character is formed is through principles, and that's something that we've talked about before. So today I want to talk about the next point of how your character is formed as a leader. And in my life, one of the things that I've noticed as a leader is character is formed through problems. Everyone doesn't like circumstances and problems their way. We hate, being in conflict and challenge and trying to figure things out. We only love and, to enjoy and have those times. But unfortunately for leadership, there is always a huge opportunity that we can learn. In fact, circumstances and problems usually for me come in four ways. The first way that they come through is tests, where you go through things that are difficult and trying to figure out this thing issue, or maybe you're going through a test somewhere in a day, with a job you've been given, an assignment that you need to accomplish. Secondly, it comes through temptations, where you have the opportunity as a leader to do things the immoral way and being able to say, I really want to do this in the right direction, but I'm so tempted towards going this other direction. Thirdly, they also come through ties, relationships. As a leader, you work with people, and sometimes people have a way of just making your life totally difficult, and you're wondering, why is this person here anyway? That's one of the opportunities that is there. And fourthly, trials. Sometimes as a leader, you go through difficult seasons, of, trouble, and you're not sure what's going on, and like, when will the cycle end? And all those are actually opportunities that problems and circumstances come. But there are four reasons why character formation happens through problems come to do four things in your life and in my life. In fact, the first thing is it comes to convict you, of grace, or rather convict you towards grace. And by this I mean, we sometimes as leaders, after leading for a while, realize we are not sufficient. We don't have all that it takes. And that's why for me as a Christian leader, so to say, I realize I need to always go back to God, because he is my sufficiency. I need insight, I need wisdom, I need understanding, I need knowledge, and I have a source where I can get those things. Where do you get your source from? As you go through circumstances and problems, what does that look like for you? They come to convict you towards grace, so that you are not relying on yourself, you're relying on somebody who's invited you into this position. Secondly, problems and circumstances come to challenge you towards growth. And by growth, I mean every individual will go through, problems. And they will challenge you towards growth. Maybe it will help you to be more patient with people. It'll help you to figure things out. There's a way in which when you go through a problem and a challenge, it has a way of making you grow. You think differently. You start understanding, oh yeah, I should not do this. This is how to handle this relationship. After that circumstances, if you allow it, you'll actually notice you've grown. Thirdly, circumstances and problems come to change you, and actually come to change you towards gain, where you can be more efficient, you can be more effective, you can be more excellent. In fact, by allowing problems your way, they actually form the character in you, where you can look at issues and say, I think this is actually the best way of doing things. So your competence continues to grow in those areas. And fourthly and finally, they come to complete you towards glory. One of God's goals, for every leader, is that they may become Christ-like, like the perfect master and leader. Many of you probably know the doctrine of sanctification, where you're supposed to be formed in the image of Jesus Christ as you continue to do life. So one of the things that problems and circumstances do, they help you to actually become more like God, because that's one of the goals that he has for you. So maybe a question for you: are you allowing circumstances and problems to shape you, to work on you? Are you allowing them to convict you towards grace, that you're not sufficient in yourself? Are you allowing them to challenge you towards growth, so that you can become better? Are you allowing them to change you towards gain, and good behavior, where you're more effective and efficient? Are you allowing them to complete you towards glory? How are you working through with problems? Thank you.